Welcome back, everybody, to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicle series. We're going to be continuing where we left off, so we're going to be delving into the second half of the third case. A little bit of a recap so far of this case. Basically, Ryunosuke and Susato have arrived in Great Britain. We've spoken to the Great Chief Justice, and we've petitioned to take Kazma's place in the exchange, the culture exchange that was happening, so that we can stay here in Great Britain and study law in place of Kazma, who's going to do that. But to be fully recognized as a lawyer, he has decided to give us one chance by succeeding in this trial. Now, specifically in this trial, the defendant has nobody else. So if we did not defend this guy, he would have had nobody else to stand in his defense. Apparently because most of the other defense lawyers were scared away based on the opposition, who is Baruch Van Zykes, who is apparently a very renowned and infamous prosecutor, known as the Grim Reaper of the Old Bailey. The Old Bailey being this court of law. However, has taken mysterious absence for 5 years and has only just now returned. So there's a little bit of mystery in regards to what happened to that as well. But he has re-emerged for this case specifically. Our defendant is an individual known as Magnus McGilded. He is apparently an extremely wealthy individual in London. As a reminder, this game takes place in the past. It was like in the turn into the 1900s. So like Victorian era England, Meiji era Japan. He's an exceptionally wealthy individual, Magnus McGilded, and he's been accused of murder. The murder of Mason... man, I can't remember his first name. Basically the murder of a brick mason who was traveling in a carriage with him. And as far as we know, Magnus McGilded and the Mason fellow were the only two people in the carriage. So it seemed like a pretty forward and check case, especially because there was apparently like there's seating inside the carriage and then there's some seating on top of the carriage, and there's a skylight into the main carriage below. And there was a couple witnesses on top of the carriage that saw what was going down. But as we've delved further into the case, we realize it's not as open and shut as of course it would seem. We managed to fight back from the brink of defeat and reveal some new information. One, that nobody actually saw the exact moment the guy was stabbed, and two, they couldn't really make out the faces of the two individuals that were sitting next to each other. One was assumingly the Mason and one was assumingly Magnus McGilded, but they couldn't really see into the other side of the carriage, so it's very possible that there was another individual in there that they didn't know about somehow. Somehow. There's also something going on with the gloves that the victim was the gloves that Magnus McGilded was wearing, because when the police arrested him, they found these gloves on his... The guy wasn't wearing gloves, but they found these gloves on his person. The gloves had a little bit of blood on the right hand. But both of the witnesses testified that whoever stabbed the guy had blood on both hands. So it's just like either there's a mysterious pair of blood-soaked gloves somewhere, or like somebody else's hands got stained in blood, because there was no blood on Magnus's hands when the police came, and he only had the gloves that had a little bit of blood on them. Assumedly, as Magnus claims, when he went to go try to staunch the wound of the guy who got stabbed. But yeah, it's been an interesting ride to get here, and when we brought Magnus McGilded to the stand to ask, because he fell asleep on the carriage ride, so he doesn't know a lot about what happened. But we asked, was there potentially any other individual that was there? And he says yes, but he hid it from the police's initial report because apparently it was a little urchin kid that was on it, and he helped them get away because he didn't want them involved in this case. He then said that maybe they're even in the crowd today, and then suddenly, boom, freaking smoke everywhere in the freaking courtroom. Like somebody lit a fire in the goddamn courtroom. Everybody was ushered out, and that's where we're picking up. That's where we're picking up. The freaking courtroom was fucking smoke bombed or something. As soon as Magnus McGilded mentioned this fact of this mysterious other individual. So we're going to figure out what happened with that, where we currently stand, and then try to find our way to the truth at the heart of this case. Yeah, let's continue. The Adventure of the Runaway Room. Part 2. February, 12:52 p.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. What on earth just happened in there? Yeah, what on earth did just happen in there? Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened. Oh, thank God. Yeah? Miss Usato. I was told it was an advanced form of a smoke grenade. Oh, it really was a smoke bomb. I was just like, because somebody just like, fire in the courtroom. And I was just like, is there fire? No, it was actually a smoke grenade. Okay, all right, okay. Sure. A type of exploding device that releases smoke. Jesus, okay. A smoke grenade. It sounds like the sort of things ninjas use. Ninjas. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think this trial will start again before long. Who fucking launched the smoke bomb? But who would have done something like that? Holmes. The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. Was this the young girl who was trying to escape? Did she have a fucking smoke bomb on her? Where'd she get this shit? Okay. A young girl. Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Assumedly. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions. Yeah, can we not ask questions together? Along with the young girl. Hello? Let us in on this. Who is she, I wonder? I wonder too. Let's go ask. And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk. And for what possible benefit to herself? I don't know, to see what fate would befall this guy? With her own two eyes? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Okay, so the 20 pence was the total fare that the cab driver received for the bus that they were on. So it was supposed to be 4 pence flat fee per passenger, but because this was the last run of the night for the omnibus or the carriage, and it was super cold outside, he was just like, I deserve a little extra treat for running the last bus in this cold, and so he decided to charge an extra pence per person. So it was 5 pence per person for 4 people, which was 20 pence in total. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there were in fact 5 passengers. She probably snuck on. Which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right. That is strange. Oh. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go straight away.
Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial.
We'll know soon enough, Miss Susato.
Yes.
All right, here we go again, mother truckers. Let's see where this case is going to lead us. 18th February, 1 p.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Okay, so there's our jury members. Barak Van Zykes and Magnus of Gilded alongside, ooh, this individual. Look at this lass. Ooh, I love her. I love her outfit. Look at this little scarf. When he said urchin, I was imagining a younger kid, but 15. Okay, all right. And there's the young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before.
Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Lord Van Zykes.
My lord.
I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier.
It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army.
Good gracious, the army! What in the devil's name?
What in the devil's name be? What?
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl.
Where did she get army smoke grenades?
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery. But she was caught. And now occupies the stand.
Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior?
If I may, my lord.
Yes, Mr. McGilded.
I think perhaps I ought to explain here. Why is it that this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that? 'Tis all tied up with the events of that night, so it is.
Very well, Mr. McGilded. Give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case.
Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. Yeah, exactly. Why were we allowed to be there when we questioned this individual?
I got to question her, so what does it matter? The young girl.
On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off as I would do. Then Bagora apparently, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at 2 feet, so I sat up with a seat across from me.
Collapsed?
Say what it? Then I turned to find out where the scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away.
Underneath the seat?
Can you explain things in more detail?
I remain somewhat baffled, I confess.
Me too.
But from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus. Is that correct?
'Tis exactly as the defense counsel said. This last was the 5th passenger, my lord.
Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Are you ready, counsel?
As ready as we're all ever going to be. Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start.
Start questioning.
All right, here we go, the cross-examination. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Press.
Hold it!
And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof deck either.
You were the first passenger, as it were, I see.
Aye, that's why I took the back side as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? I assume the one that's facing towards the driver? By all means, 'tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite, the one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed, was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well.
Vince likes staying really quiet.
Then, begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start.
Hold it!
A loud thud, you say, and a scream. Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground, that sort of noise.
Oh, maybe it was the moment that he was that the guy was stabbed, because we know that Lady First, one of the witnesses that was riding on top of the carriage, screamed when the stabbing when he looked over and saw that the guy had been stabbed. But he says this guy just collapsed. Did he not have the thing in him?
So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling into the floor having been stabbed? Well, now you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me, I opened my eyes. There wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage, but the fellow on the floor. You didn't see anyone. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream?
From the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume.
Not above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from the inside of the cabin.
Okay, so it was the lass.
Well, the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes. There was a fellow collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I set him up on the seat across from me.
Okay, did you notice he was fucking stabbed?
Hold it!
You set him up? The victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said, I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone.
Oh, okay. Contradicts what he said before. He was just like, of course, I saw someone hurt and I rushed to their aid. That's why I had blood on my gloves. Uh-huh.
But no, the bastard was already dead. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you?
Yes, because that's important evidence.
'Tis common courtesy, so it is.
I find that a little hard to believe.
Arrah, Lord Van Zykes! Now why would that be?
You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is.
Well, now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. Yeah, he's apparently he's seen as a philanthropist who like gives a lot of money to the city, and you know they have a park named after him and a public library and stuff like that. Apparently, that he donated a lot of money towards or whatever. But he's apparently a cutthroat moneylender, who a lot of people are in debt to, and that's how he gets his money. Apparently.
The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest.
Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even say me did. So I do try where at all possible to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble. Okay. I think it was brought before, but why didn't he have a private carriage as opposed to a public? Why did he ride the public carriage? Are you suggesting you were going to leave the man there? Heavens alive, no. I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only I had a mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right, Char. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. The way scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? I mean, the guy was dead. But like mess with the crime scene, probably not. Yes, the scream he says he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing. Probably would investigate that. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find?
Hold it!
I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well, now 'tis a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside.
Good gracious.
Under your backside?
Yeah, it was she was hiding below the seat in the compartment.
And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubby hole there for storage.
Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember?
Yeah, I've already been in there. I've already seen it. Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence.
This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside.
Already did. The thoroughest possible. And that's what I found her. There was a child in there all curled up in a ball hiding her wee self away.
Hold it!
Press. You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball when our eyes met well. Me heart nearly stopped beating in me chest.
Why?
You're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chinwag with her. The seat opposite. That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there.
You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir?
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And when I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fella's voice this time.
Hey, what are these events? What are the order of these events?
Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats.
Did he not see the girl then? What happened?
Right here you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with a knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witnesses did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGildet. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason.
I found that hard to believe, but okay. Hey, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight.
It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused perhaps with this young girl.
After that, of course, with a scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses.
Thank you, I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my mind. Are they now? However, at least one conundrum remains.
What the fuck was she doing there?
Who is the girl?
Yeah, hello, who are you? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. Oh, Lestrade, like in the like in Holmes. Isn't that the name of the constable? His last name is Lestrade. Okay. So we already have Herlock Sholmes copyright distinct in this game. So okay, all right. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. Oh, pickpocket. What's commonly called a pickpocket? What?
This girl here, a petty thief? Order! Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question.
She's got a fucking smoke gun? Did she get these from Sholmes? Sholmes had something similar. He had like a little purple mist or whatever that he used to reveal fingerprints, and then he had like fucking steampunk-esque goggles of which he could like have a little bit of x-ray vision. It was crazy.
Arg! How dare you! What is the meaning of this?
She fucking disappeared, dude. Shot a little fucking smoke bomb bazooka at him.
Ah, the girl! She's gone!
Open your ears. Oh, wait. Oh, listen to this music. Never mind, this was her. Maybe like, Top of the morning to you, Governor. Top of the morning. Hello, Governor. Something like that. Open your eyes. I'm over here.
Good gracious! How?
What was the point in that little sidestep? She's dramatic. I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on. That's what's in your heads, ain't it? Dude, we don't know. We don't know jack shit. Tell us your story. No, not at all. This is a courtroom of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast... Why green smoke, dude? Where's she at all this shit from? What was the point in that? Oh, look at that, playing with the coin, man. Look, guys are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. And all I need here for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Professional pickpocket. I like her, she's got pizzazz. Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs. Where'd she get this shit? This is the same symbol, though, that was on, I think Sholmes' gear. So whoever's making this crap also gave this girl this. Whatever steampunk technician.
Oh, this. Yeah, this wasn't a bag I lifted the other day.
Oh, okay, never mind, she stole it.
Down where they keep the four-wheel drags.
So this is Sholmes' gun. Smoke gun.
It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink best.
The pink smoke grenade.
Ah, do not wave that thing in my direction again.
So, you admit you were riding the omnibus on the night in question.
'Tis all right, lass. You can tell them the truth now.
She seems to trust McGilded.
All right, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said.
The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question.
All right. If I have to.
What the girl saw.
So I stuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always.
Oh, but even before they hooked up the horses.
Boys, right, all wasted time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night.
Because people, like, stow away their goods and what, she, like, bolts with them? Or, like, what? No, because then they would see her if they stole away their goods. Does she, like, pop out of the thing and steal shit and nobody notices? Like, what?
I tell you, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of me skin, I did. And the scream just came out.
Okay, so she heard a loud bang. But the other people didn't hear it?
It's because of that this swell found me. Did help me get away, mind. Yes, he'll let you go.
I fail to understand why you would let this street urchin go, Mr. McGilded.
What is simplicity itself, my lord? You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I know that for a fact.
Because if she had moved out of her hiding spot, he would have been jostled.
How? As I'm sure I said before, sir.
Let's take a look inside the omnibus, apparently.
I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself.
I think a demonstration is called for.
That's the seat across from where the victim was, and this is the lifts up.
This is where I was sat that night.
And the cubby hole of which you have spoken is underneath this seat, I presume.
Ah, they moved all the shit out of it. There used to be other stuff in here.
Yes, it does appear to be just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature.
Before it was filled with shit, we were just like, wow, the passengers couldn't even fit their luggage in here. Oh, bullshit.
But of course the wheel ass was stuck in there. Because I'd parked myself on the seat for the duration. Oh. So you see, that's why I lit the last bolt.
I know that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young a young life was ruined when all the time I know she was innocent.
Even though you must have realized your actions would result in your own innocence being called into question.
Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own name, good name, for the sake of this less than fortunate loss. My goodness. What a perfect gentleman.
My lord, this is a fine example of a man this fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this.
That's what we assume, but we also know he's a really good actor. if he's also like a freaking cutthroat moneylender.
I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir.
Oh no, this is more like the judge's voice. What voice do we have for this guy again?
I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir.
I don't know, whatever. Wow, he's moving his... Okay, so basically the jury... This is how the jury votes. Guilty, not guilty. Who's the holdout then? This lass?
With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
Oh, okay. All of the jury find this guy innocent, then who the fuck is guilty?
Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual and they're leaning to a verdict of not guilty.
Mr. Naruhodo, this... Well, it must mean...
It must mean what?
that we're victorious.
Nah, man, the truth hasn't been found out yet. Who the fuck killed the guy?
We've won.
Are you sure?
Objection.
Nah, man. Yeah, there we go, Van Zykes, get in those business. Oh, okay. All right. Just put your boot on the fucking stand, okay, dude? Dramatic.
If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy.
The freaking young glass as well. The witness.
This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices, where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day.
Emotion.
The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature.
What do you mean, his true nature?
Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. Aye, aye. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report.
Yeah, there was stuff in there before. I looked. Where'd it go?
Good Lord.
The evidence has been tampered with.
It has. I noted it was there before. Hold on a second. Into the court record. Bitch, hello? Yeah. We've already been inside. Uh-oh. This wasn't here before, was it?
That's blood, isn't it?
Is something wrong?
Oh, it's just, well, this blood stain is so obvious, that's all. And yet, Van Zykes has made no mention of it.
Yeah, dude, we haven't either. Have the freaking carriages been swapped?
I suppose that does seem a little strange.
Oh my god.
Why do I have such a bad feeling about this?
Dude, I do too. This shit has been swapped on us.
The seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. And only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really.
Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have to be seated here.
A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they?
Okay, but let's open this shit.
The seat has a handle, it seems.
Yeah, see, nothing in it this time. What the heckaroonies?
This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is.
Exactly. It's that there was shit in it before. Oh my god. They swapped this shit? Is there anything else that's different? No, the rest of this shit is all the same. I don't see anything else that's different, but these two things are very much so. The blood on the floor wasn't there before, and this compartment was full of things. So what's happened? When the smoke screen happened, ain't no fucking way on God's green earth they took out the entire carriage out of the courtroom and replaced it. What is going on? Anything different on the top? I think there is something different on the top. There was like a latch here in the other one. There's not one here.
You certainly can see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure.
Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses could have been able to see quite clearly.
That's not good for us.
Yes, things are different. Things are different. Something has happened. I didn't take note of the number. I didn't take note of the number, so I don't know if this is a different one. But you know what we can do? I didn't take note of the number in this moment, but we can pull up the VOD. Hold. Investigating. Hold, we're investigating real quick. Let me see. When I was investigating the carriage, here we go. Yeah, the blood stain on the ground definitely wasn't there. And the number on the bus was 418. Okay, it was the same number. All right, autosave. Please have saved us. Please save us, autosave. Autosave, please. Autosave, where are we? Okay, was this exactly where we left it? So we had just investigated the omnibus. Let's do that again real quick. We just went to go investigate the omnibus because we realized things had changed. Yeah, things after the smoke screen and the thing, things have changed right now. So this blood stain is here. This is new. This wasn't before.
That's blood, isn't it?
Is something wrong?
Oh, it's just, well, this bloodstain is so obvious, that's all. And yet Van Zykes has made no mention of it.
I suppose that does seem a little strange.
Why do I have such a bad feeling about this?
Yep, something is not right. And over here, things were inside before, now there's nothing inside.
This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is.
Uh-huh, as in, like, shit has been changed. That's what's not right here, god damn it. And then, once again, also, in the previous one, there was a latch that I saw on the roof, the friggin' skylight, and this one doesn't have it. That was another thing that was a little bit weird. All right, let's continue from this autosave then. I think we still need to get to the point where the juries change their opinion here. So... Yeah. Both juror 1 and the other juror, they both put it in non-guilty. We're catching up to where we were. Unfortunate crash that we had. All right, so we got to the point where Van Zykes was speaking. So we'll get back there. That's where we took a second to look at the omnibus carriage.
Objection!
Okay, here we go. Okay. So we had the little bit of a crash. We investigated where my computer crashed. We investigated the omnibus carriage, and we'll pick back up from here. We'll pick back up from here. If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Okay, yeah, right. I remember we got into this, and then he mentioned the evidence, the police report. It's a little bit further in. Okay, right here. Right here, this is where we pick back up. Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by the officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report.
Good Lord.
The evidence has been tampered with. It has indeed. In order to corroborate Mr. McGildered's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat, but the bloodstain has also appeared. Which would make sense, because I was like, that's not a lot of blood for somebody that apparently bled out.
What?
Order! Order! How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been effected, Counsel?
Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. I can attest to that as well. And the bloodstain wasn't on the floor. Well, my Nipponese friend,
Me?
When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Yep, we did that, don't worry about it. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be?
Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead, you tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Dykes.
Nah, man. We're hunting down the truth. We must tell the truth here in this court of law.
Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter?
How am I supposed to answer? With the truth. What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? I didn't look. No, it was empty, or it wasn't empty. It wasn't empty. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. It's not. But as far as I remember, at least. When I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes.
Are you sure, counsel?
Yeah, I noted it particularly when it was changed here to be like, because I was just like, oh, somebody could fit under there, and then it said couldn't fit, and this last was like, I fit under there, and I was like, what?
Arab? Be whist? Arabi whist? What are you saying now, you daft doe? I thought you were on my side here.
We're on the side of the truth. Yo, Van Zykes, what, you thought we were gonna lie? What game are you playing? You tossed in my ball court, you thought I was gonna lie? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. By finding the truth, my dude. Why would you say something to compromise his position? Are we not seekers of the truth here in this courtroom? As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Damn straight. Interesting.
'Tis not altogether pleasant, fella.
I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded.
Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. A fella's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. That there cubby hole under the seat is empty as the devil's heart, so it is.
As empty as the devil's heart.
Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest to now admit that you might have been mistaken?
Certainly not. Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here? It's just certainly not. Some things have been fucked with.
I should like the jury to weigh on this matter, I think. A compartment is designed to house equipment tools to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo, isn't that irresponsible? A money-lending fleecer and the pick purse are lying.
Alright, we're moving again.
Ah. I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers, nothing but cowards, the lot of them. What? Oh no. It's a trick. Of course it's a trick. Quite so. I must concur here.
And the scales are shifting once again. We're wibbly, wobbly, toppling, wobbling all over the place.
With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems.
My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate.
Thank you, Counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is a matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please.
Of the last, okay.
Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted, almost beyond recognition.
And so it's been all over the place since the start, dude. Just to learn to ride the wave.
The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem.
Sure, man. We are going toe-to-toe, man. Let's go. We shifted the trial before. He's shifted the trial back now. Let's do this. Battle to get to the freaking truth, man. Alright, we had to question the girl.
So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always.
Hold it!
So you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run? Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a joey to make a few bobs, eh? That's the rum in it. I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. It actually makes sense.
Eh. Sometimes you gotta invest in something so that it eventually can gain momentum.
Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief. Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants.
Well, that does clear up a little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabman testified. And one little scapegrace riding for free. The red coke of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see? So that's why I slip into the carriage and get myself in and under the seat. Nice and easy, right?
But your hiding place is a storage compartment. Full of equipment for the coach, no?
Yeah, where's the equipment, dude?
Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. Always check all that out and cram it in the corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much.
And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia.
Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all the stuff out so I can hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you.
It seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue.
Well, it's right on waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night.
Hold it!
A waste of time. Why is that? Well, most nights I'm on my own in the my own in the god permit at least some of the... Oh. Well, most of the nights I'm on my own in the god permit at least some of the time. Fuck.
I beg your pardon, did you say God permit?
Yeah, what the fuck is happening here? Okay, goodbye.
Oh yeah, well that's what my coin call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose.
The god permit?
The point is, any normal run the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while.
And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away.
That's it, only that night. This cove was sat on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch, I was totally stuck.
Okay, so that does confirm that somebody was sitting on her seat the entire time.
Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? Were under the seat the entire time while the events unfolded in the enclosed cabin?
Yeah. Right, mister. To be sure, I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on and find a child now, do you?
So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then.
I'll tell you, you can't say a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there.
Oh shit. No, wait, hold on, back to this. I accidentally advanced, I'm pressing everything.
So you couldn't see out of into the cabin at all? Not at all. Most days I push the cushion up with me head and look out the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle.
I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher.
I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get... I can have a look. The seat I get at there ain't as plush as the other ones, see?
Interesting. I think we did note that in the hold on. 1 second, lass. Back into this omnibus we go. Is it noted? He says the back seat's always the most comfortable. Did something get turned around here, I wonder? If he says that this one's always is less comfortable.
The seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it.
Only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really. And then we had this line before about the English gentlewoman, how ladies' clothes impractical with the kimono as well. And then what if we select? Can we not select this seat? I guess we can. I was gonna ask if there was a difference between the seats, whether it's noted. No, there's just this blood stain. Alright, well, no more information on that. Let's go back. Up, we also have people now. Does this include... There we go. Gina Lestrade, 17. Okay, they said she was 15. A young woman who witnessed the incident from her hiding place aboard the omnibus on the night of murder. She was discovered by the defendant. Okay. Interesting. So, McGilded said it was the most comfortable seat, but maybe he's lying. All right.
So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, they said Irishmen spent the whole journey right over my head.
And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see.
Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. But it's the only place to hide in them carriages, so it's Hobson's choice.
Hobson's choice?
Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then?
I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor.
So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to just stick it out under there and nothing else for it. And after a while, I heard this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of my skin, I did, and the scream just came out.
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. The point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily? That's right. And I felt the cushion over me, I get light all of a sudden.
Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes? Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not?
Well, girl, did you see what happened at the crucial moment?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, what?
I pushed up the cushion and had a quick butchers.
Which means a quick glance, I guess.
Well, I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke what had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite.
That matches Mr. McGilden's account, of course.
But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should never have risked looking. It's because of that this swell found me. He did help me get away, mind.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGilden discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all.
Next to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Yeah, the bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling in onto me. What?
How awful.
Both my hands got covered in blood. Made me feel sick as a dog.
Okay, so that's what the people saw, was both hands covered in blood. They testified that both of the murderer's hands was covered in blood, so it was this moment? Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passenger saw. Mm-hmm. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilden for a while. Is that correct? It took that long for the fucking people to get into the carriage? Okay.
He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and that. And I had something from above. Someone screamed.
Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume.
Well, I didn't want no one seeing me face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up smartish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat, I'll see that you can get away later."
All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent.
For one brief shining moment, yes.
It's clear that they are still very unsure.
Aren't we all, man? Oh, hey, Runa, hello, welcome. It's Attorney, hell yeah. Oh, hey. Thank you for the continued subscription, Runic. Do 51 months. Thank you so much for the continued support. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, we started in, this is the Ace Attorney Chronicles series. And this is the variety game that I've been playing for the past few weeks. We're currently on the second half of the third case. That's currently where we stand. I did the first chunk of the third case last week, and so we're continuing it here to see if we can get to the conclusion of this case. Yeah, the prequel games, yeah. Takes place in the past. So this is like the protagonist here is like an ancestor of the main series games protagonist. Because it takes place in like the turn into the 1900s, I think. You're aware your work covers them? I see. Yeah, I had only ever really watched the main series games. I watched somebody else play it, and so this is technically my first time actually playing the Ace Attorney series. But I did watch the full main trilogy. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. All right, Suzetto.
If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we can clinch the verdict we want.
Yes, I think you're right. And I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, the entirety of the carriage was freaking changed. Okay, so we have to do something with this. We've already pressed all these statements. What do we have in our court record? And nobody else heard the scream, though. Okay, so this is... We've pressed all these statements, so wait, we can just present? What do we have? The gloves. Okay. So we could present the omnibus. This is the dagger. I don't think there was anything particular about the dagger. Let's look at the picture. It didn't seem to be different. Okay. So that's the new omnibus. Snuck inside the carriage where they hooked up the horses like always. Okay. So where are we supposed to be presenting information here? Because that's the only thing left that we can do. Let's see, what did Suzetto say there? If we just find some conclusive piece of evidence among the new testimony. But we don't have a conclusive. I pressed every single one of these statements. But we didn't get any new piece of evidence from it except for this one where she said that both her hands were covered in blood. In which case we kind of know the events of what happened. Okay, if we were to present... We only have like... I think the only thing that would be relevant here... This just says that he died in one stab wound. So what can we ask about here? Okay, snuck inside the carriage. Where I was gonna show over the troubles that night. Can't see anything in the hiding place. It's pitch in there. It makes sense. After a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of my skin. I did, and the scream just came out. Okay. So that's let's press this one again.
Hold it!
Let's look at real quick. Hold on. Let's get back in here. Let's get back in this omnibus real quick. So this is this new omnibus. Oopsies. That's not what I wanted to click. I wanted to go inside this again. Alright, can we see anything at any of the different angles here in this? It doesn't seem, it seems completely empty. Alright. Once again, notably there's not a latch. Okay. So you, Mr. McGill, pulled him from the hiding place. What if we look at this guy while he's doing it? Oh, we can A. Oh, okay, okay. This is just to look at see McGill's reaction, but he hasn't made any like startling thing. He hasn't made any reaction, so.
Excuse me.
Oh fuck! I didn't mean to do that. Sure. Whoops. I was using spacebar to advance. Do you have something to say about that last statement? Haha. No, not really. Only they're happy with what's been said. Kind of you to ask. Still at all. Here, have yourselves a tip. Ah. Does he think I was asking after his general well-being? Okay, that didn't get us a penalty or anything. Alright, hold on. Let's go back to pressing that last statement.
Hold it!
Scared stiff I was, he dragged me and sat me down on the seat. No, wait, that was wrong, I said. I scared stiff I was, he dragged me out and sat me down in the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, the bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. And the carriage lurched to bed and he ended up falling in onto me.
How awful. Yeah, okay, okay.
Both my hands got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog.
That's what the passenger saw, yeah.
After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGill a while. Is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Want to know me name and what I was up to and that. And I heard something from above. Someone screamed.
Yeah, Mr. First.
Well, I didn't want no one to see my face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up smartish, to see how Irishman says to me. Get back on the seat, I'll see that you can get away later.
All right, so one of these statements, he said something similar.
Hold it!
Maybe that'll give us a hint of what we're looking for here. Where is this the one where we said we had a niggling feeling as well here? We're looking for what sentence we need to do, because it's clear all we can do right at this time right now is present information to contradict one of the Lass's statements, but I don't know which. Okay, it wasn't this one.
Hold it!
I think we said that there must have been a reason she was in the compartment. There must have been a reason she was in the compartment. Like, if it's so much of a hassle for her to do, like she said, she's scared of dark places usually. So why not just pick people off the street? Why make the effort of going into the carriage? I don't think it was this statement either. Okay, so it wasn't this statement.
Hold it!
So this time she's saying she couldn't see out from this, but she was underneath the seat the entire time. It says truth is too happy in small dog.
No.
What the fuck? When did he do this? He didn't do this last time. Pursue.
Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded?
Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel?
I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself.
Oh, no, it was nothing important.
We'll be the judge of that. Please let us know.
I was feeling bad for the poor lasses all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was.
I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now.
Aye, and I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I suppose it does. Maybe.
And Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps?
Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Pajabbers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp.
Snoring.
And what a pity. If only Mr. Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital clue.
Yes. What should we make of that last statement of hers? God spare me, fellows. I have nowhere to go with this. Is it important that all she could hear was the guy snoring? Court records save me. Oh, because she probably would have heard the guy being stabbed, right? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, it's pretty significant. Yeah, because the guy would have made a sound if he was stabbed, right? Yeah, it's profoundly important. Probably.
My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important.
Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing.
That's the point, man. She didn't hear anything.
Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it.
I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Well, okay, dude. Nevertheless. All right. Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your former testimony by repeating the last statement, please.
What? Superman? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move.
All right, we have a new statement to press. Okay, so this was her previous statement. And there's this one.
I was trying to be asked to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring.
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time since the moment you hid yourself.
Not exactly, no.
Sorry?
Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have a butcher's to see what was what. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, I got my head down so he didn't notice me.
And Mr. McGill did sit on the seat under which you were hiding, correct?
Yeah? Would you Adam and Eve it, eh? What a mug.
What? Would you Adam and Eve it, eh?
So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out there as soon as I heard him leave, you see. But would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open.
Interesting. Never even heard the door open? Say what?
So I just had to put and listen to him driving his pigs to the market, snoring like an old dog he was.
What the fuck happened? Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? It doesn't add up.
Miss Lestrade, what you just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts.
At odds? Are you sure, man?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It seems my learned Nepalese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. He's noticed two men.
So Van Zykes realized it too.
Counsel? I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence or some complicit party's name at the very least.
Yes, my lord.
I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court.
According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilden snoring. But think, Ryunosuke, think! There's something else she should have heard. I mean, the guy getting on the bus, right? Can we just show the dude? Can we just show the person? Okay, we'll show the person. Show a person. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. Thrice-fired Mason.
Take that!
Thrice-fired Mason.
Yes, my lord. The sound that Mr. Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Whew, we're getting places.
Order! Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel.
Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person to board the omnibus, is that correct?
Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I?
And the next person aboard the omnibus was Mr. McGilded?
That it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I claimed aboard. At least, not in plain sight.
So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at the time?
Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember?
Through the crack under the seat cushion, so she knew it was him.
He was on his own for sure.
And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? I remember when the two passengers on the rooftop seat wanted to go sit in the carriage, but the carriage door was locked, and whoever was inside waved them away. So, something's going on here.
Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't I? Waiting for this swell to leave.
In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed.
Lord Van Zykes.
Yes. He knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks or an order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. Or there's something that she's telling the truth. She's telling the truth.
Lestrade, how could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? That makes no sense whatsoever. And this girl is a pickpocket? Let's not forget that.
Grandma, what the fuck?
She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars.
She said this before. Oh, God. And neither can... no, wait, no, wrong.
Neither can I.
Mr. Foreman.
I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars.
Fellows, no.
Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty.
Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Our toast. Yes, very refreshing.
Arg. Gar, what are you playing it? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadon?
Hold on.
Amadan.
Meaning. A fool. A figure in Irish and Scottish Gaelic folklore who may assume both benevolent and malevolent roles, but just a fool in general.
This is carnage. It's perfect. Juror number 2 is the only one left.
Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going...
I know. If we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilda's innocence, the judge will rule, and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Hold it. Yeah, wait. Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case.
What are you saying?
Counsel!
I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean?
Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my education.
As in, like, prolong it?
Explain yourself at once.
When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, we still haven't explained how the carriage is completely different now. The carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the statement. Oh, sorry. As testified by the witness in the stand.
And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage.
If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how to explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus?
There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage.
He was in there already, there's another entrance, or he was put there after he died. All right, let's have a think. Let's have a think. Ugh. Okay, let me take a sip of water while we're having a think. Hold on. Stay hydrated, everybody. Stay hydrated. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Also, I didn't notice this, but yeah, thanks for the hydrate check as well. Thanks for the hydrate check. I'm not sure when you put that in, but yeah. Anybody else that hasn't had some water, but you know, make sure to get some water. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. right, let's think on what we know. So, we know that somehow the carriage is different. One, there wasn't a blood stain on the floor in the previously in the carriage, and now there is. So sometime between the smoke bomb happening, the carriage has changed. Somehow the carriage has changed, and there's no longer stuff in the carriage seat. How the fuck did that happen? How the fuck did that happen? We don't know. Secondly, if we say there's another entrance, she would have still heard that entrance coming about. She would have still heard it. If we say he was put in there after he died, she would have heard the door anyway. So the only option is that he was in there already, somehow. Here we go.
Clearly, he was in there already from beforehand.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that clearly in your last statement?
Well said, Lord Van Zykes. The clearly is troubling me also.
No. That's really not the point. The point,
Yeah, it wasn't really clearly all.
the point is that the victim must have been in the carriage from beforehand.
Then answer me this. By beforehand, to what specific point in time are you referring?
Well, clearly,
Oh no, we got it wrong.
Shall to penalize the defense for this irrelevant rambling.
Shit.
ugh, I must learn to ramble more relevantly.
The penalty is evidently not heavy enough, judging from those Nipponese eyes, so I ask you again. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus?
Okay, take two. Take two. Okay, so he wasn't already in there. I was just like, maybe he could have been. There's another entrance. Or he was put there after he died. But the blood stain is there. But what other entrance are we thinking of here? Like the skylight? Think he was killed somewhere else? Another entrance then? Yeah. The thing is, if he was killed somewhere else, there wouldn't have been that amount of blood on the seat and the floor. So let's go with the second one.
If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other has only windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
What about the skylight?
Objection!
But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered.
Oh, and the bang could have been him falling from the rooftop, like when he collapsed from the seat. It wasn't him collapsing from the seat, it was him getting dumped in the carriage. It's all come together. Like, I was like, she would have heard the latch opening or whatever entrance they used, but I guess not. Okay. All right.
Oh, really?
Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door.
Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin.
All right, counsel. Defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which the proposed victim entered the cabin?
The skylight.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight.
I say, the skylight.
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However,
Objection!
Objection.
popped his wig. Yeah, that's the surprise animation.
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
Objection, objection, objection.
So you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory?
Do we? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor.
Yes, which has already been explained. As the sound of the victim falling from his seat, having been assaulted with the dagger.
Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat on the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses described? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact.
Good gracious.
Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible.
How can you be so sure?
Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen.
Yeah. That's the confusing part.
And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony.
Yeah, what also about the person who waved them off from inside the cabin? There was somebody inside that waved them off. Well, yes, that's true, but... So one of the ones on the roof is the killer? Probably. Oh, hold it? Who's holding it? Oh, it's...
Hold it. Hey, hold it. Might a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded? To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would yous not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Oof.
Oh my goodness, surely not.
those two chaps on the roof. This sheet's getting good, furiously typing.
Tell me the ones who stuck the... Tell me the ones who stuck stuck that knife in the man were.
Oh, they were maybe in cahoots. Oh, it's these two.
Hold it. Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer?
You rotter, he said, you rotter. What are you insinuating?
What is he doing?
This is a flaming outrage. I've good mind to give you a blinker in a minute.
He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay.
You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker.
A blinker is another term for a black guy, yeah. I got there.
And me, a very angry hatter.
Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts, it's a disgrace, it's scandalous, I protest in the strongest possible terms.
That's right, I protest too about you, you rotten scoundrel.
He's a Mad Hatter, yeah.
Order! This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous.
It's very hurtful, you know.
My lord, if I may comment.
Go ahead, Lord Van Sykes.
It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof.
Accuse? I never intended to. Yeah, we were just positing a potential path here.
It seems, young Nepenthes, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the roof passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation.
I know it's rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought.
What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify.
I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. We'll have to see this matter through now, one way or another.
Yeah, dudes, let's see this matter through.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once.
Testify! 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 The crowd's in on it, dude.
What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo?
The crowd is demanding testify! Testify! The spectators in the public gallery are. They're in complete frenzy. Testify! Testify!
Mr. Fairplay, Mr. First. My lord. You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony.
Crouch is like, this is the best shit ever. This case has more twists and turns than anything.
In reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord.
I didn't come here for this.
There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. We're on the hot pursuit of the truth. Also, hold on 1 second here. before we get in on these statements. All right. All right. Refuting the accusation.
We were the only 2 people on the roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that.
If anything happened where we were sitting, don't you think one of us would have noticed?
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man.
The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it.
If you're sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof?
All right, very short.
I must say, listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see.
Oh, we're innocent, I tell you.
I wonder if this is significant that he's in this position. It's making a dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Is he a jockey? And not a hat maker? And that's how these two know each other, because he likes to bet on the races?
Logically, of course, the argument falls down if the 2 of you were in collusion with one another.
Tell it like it is, juror number 4.
What?
Eh?
According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the 2 witnesses share no common dealings.
Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy?
Cause shit's fucked, man.
Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord.
All right, it's cross-examining time.
We're the only 2 people up on that roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that.
Press.
Hold it!
So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck?
Absolutely not, Dickin.
No question about it, he said. Not at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both.
What? Hello?
I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here.
Okay, but it might have been the girl, right?
Is this true, Mr. McGildred?
Dear me, my lord, at risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately.
That's no red lie, without doubt. You were engaged in.
Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? At all, at all? It is all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that.
We got a big party up here in the stand.
I saw you with my own eyes.
This is going so well. If anything happened where we were sitting, don't you think one of us would have noticed?
Hold it!
Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark, perhaps too dark to see clearly.
Is this some kind of luck?
Is this some kind of joke, he said? Is that what this is? Or perhaps one of the other of you fell asleep briefly?
Ah, you fair dinkum, sir.
Are you being honest, sir?
Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you.
I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bit of cold.
I mean, the driver was fighting off sleep because of hypothermia, dude, so...
And if you did manage, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again.
That's extreme.
You can tell he's Phoenix Wright ancestor, yeah. Very, very similar in terms of the animations and stuff, and his look. Up right first. I accidentally clicked there.
It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fellow. But I see I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear you at all. That's a lie. I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone.
So there's definitely someone in there, dude. Somebody was in there, dude. What the fuck?
No doubt it was a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold is hardly surprising. Seeing things? Seeing things?
I believe we've reached an impasse here on this particular point.
You! Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then 'tis only fair that you and the other fiend are too.
That's right. You're suspects now too. Let's share the love here, eh?
Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really.
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man.
Hold it!
So you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before?
Oh, Lemon, no. Not once, never.
Hold on.
Ume?
Used to express surprise, interest, or approval. A British term. Okay.
He'd never met the man before, he said. Never!
Well, that's what he said, but what about you?
And you, Mr. First.
Had no prior dealings with the victim either?
That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir.
No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us...
Well, no.
Whoa, hold on.
Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin.
Pursue.
Excuse me.
Mr. McGilded? Yes, Counsel, what can I do for you?
Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow?
Not there about his connection, is that right now? I wonder.
They were both in debt to get McGilded.
What are you insinuating now?
Ah, Mr. Fairplay, it has been too long, so it has. If I am not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not? Your payment date?
Also, notably, McGilded said before he never saw Mason before, but if Mason was in debt to Mr. McGilded, then he's for sure seen him before, so he was also lying there.
I beg your pardon.
You borrow 20 guineas from me, sir.
At an unconscionable rate of interest, you tricked me. It's extortion.
Well, now is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another? And young Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do be making hearts for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about your head, is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well, I'm just an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gem walks through the door. The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Customers, such as thrice-fired Mason.
That would make sense why his hat was so weird.
There's a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence of for, my lord.
This, you mean?
I can't help thinking that poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? Oh. That's one of my hats. Aye, it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours.
Well, that's what I was saying, Runa, because we know that Mason was in debt to Mr. McGilded. So they would have known each other because Mason apparently borrowed money from McGilded. Mason being the victim.
The sort of customer I'd wager you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. Nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case.
You little weasel, huh?
He's better at this than I am.
Well, he knows their connections more than we do.
Gosh, Mr. McGilded has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he?
Please don't let me in little interruption hold up the proceedings.
What? For having identified the... Oh, I got some sort of achievement. Hold on. For having identified the milliner responsible for the victim's hat in episode 3. Well, apparently that was a specific achievement. Oh, wait, hold on. Go back. Okay, let's press this without pursuing the rest of the thing.
Hold it!
Never met Thrice Fire Mason before. Not once, never. Never met the man before. And you, Mr. Furs, had no prior dealings with the victim either. That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers. Perfectly honest, sir. Yep. See how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us had any mention of gentleman. Neither of us had the remotest connection to gentlemen inside the cabin.
That's right. This is about motive, and we had none.
No motive, hmm?
And, well, that's not all, is it?
Okay. So that was the rest of us pressing the statement. You found the hat maker, we did. Alright, let's press this statement. The skylight was shut the entire time.
The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? The skylight was shut the entire time.
I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute.
He's going to lose his ride with you in a minute. That's what he said.
Take a look for yourself. Go on.
Okay, so there is a latch here, but I think it was on the other side. Wait. Has this somehow been turned around? Like maybe just the driver's seat was changed so that the front of the bus was like over here? because this was definitely over here when we last looked at the skylight, and now this latch is over here. So the entire bus was turned around. Well, then how did the blood on the floor suddenly appear? But then the latch would have been on this side?
You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was on the night.
So it is, of course. I feel that says that Mr. Mason could likely break through it. Still and all.
What?
Just look at the size of the thing, you understand.
Now you hold on there a minute, so the size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we?
Let's stop biting the arcane, shall we?
I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens.
What the fuck? What does this have to do with anything?
This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First.
Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is I tried to open the skylight, you see. But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as rouge, I did.
When it can't be opened from the inside, the skylight.
Are you expecting me to sentence you?
Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened.
I tried and tried when I was inside the cabin of shame. Oh, hey, yo, hold on a second. It's a fucking party out in this biznatch. All right.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade.
I didn't hear what she said when she made that sound.
It opens.
It does?
Huh? The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right?
No, lass. No need to shoot the friggin' smoke grenade.
All them skylights open dead easy.
More easily than you can load that weapon?
That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, I... You can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out my ears.
Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't top off. I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it.
I like Gina, me too. She seems great. I love their design as a character.
So what I did was I used the skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch from the skylights is on the top. That's why you can't open them from the cabin.
Yeah, I can see that.
The skylight opens from the roof deck.
Bailiff! Climb up to the roof of the omnibus at once and verify the witness's claims.
Hold on, I guess I could do that.
Oh, it slides. On my hat. Say?
Oh my god, it does open. Oh my god, this is getting good.
Order! So it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true.
I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck. Oh yeah, I figured.
Mr. Naruhodo,
I saw the latch before.
this could be the clue we've been looking for.
Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself.
Oh, okay, sure thing. Hold a moment here, fellows. I need to investigate.
Do 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 do.
Here.
So the skylight was fastened shut before. But now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it.
You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure.
Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly.
That's not good for us. Okay, no, okay, yeah. Is there anything else that we can see here? Is there something there? No, okay. That's just the remainder of the latch. Okay. Now that we've opened the skylight, does that change anything in here?
Blood.
Oh,
Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo.
Why someone like me? What is it?
Look, just there. Look at this. That's without question.
so that was on the part that opens.
It's blood.
Why would there be a blood stain there?
Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it?
The details of the omnibus have been updated in the court record. The scene of the crime, there is a bloodstain visible in the frame of the skylight when opened. Boom, shakalaka, bitches. Okay, so this is why they were just like, maybe I should investigate the omnibus. Okay. Let's finish. Let's see this through to the conclusion without pursuing the last. Oh wait, hold on. That was.
But we know now that the skylight does in fact open. And what's more, the catch that secures it is found on the roof deck side.
This is getting flaming uncus.
This is getting absurd, he said. Completely absurd.
That's right, neither of us even knew the skylight had a catch. If we didn't know, we couldn't have opened it, and if we didn't open it, we couldn't have kicked the fellow down.
Please, where is this idea about kicking the victim through the skylight coming from? Whoever designed these carriages anyway? Fancy not being able to open the skylight from the inside. What about breaking wind? Did they think about that? There's no point having a skylight if it can't spare you embarrassment. It's there.
We're really getting off topic here.
If you actually have a point, pray do enlighten the rest of us.
I'll tell you what my point is. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? We have it now, bitches.
Let's press this. Proof.
Proof. That's right, I demand to hear it.
We came here to say what you saw, I tell you, not for this.
But you call us both shysters, brand us as criminals.
You call us liars, that's what he means, and accuse us of doing it. As it stands at the moment, there is no hard evidence that incriminates yourselves now, is there? I believe we're in much the same position as one another here.
All suspects.
If I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth.
I wonder if these two men really were involved in some way.
I couldn't say. I mean, I don't really know anything about them, do I?
Although by the same token, I don't really know anything about Mr. McGilded either. It's so hard to know what to believe here.
I think we should try to remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of a trial.
Evidence.
No one can argue against decisive evidence, including the members of the jury.
So you're saying that what we need now is to find a conclusive piece of evidence?
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, precisely.
All right, so we got what we need. We're gonna say, show me evidence that proves it. And we're gonna present him with the omnibus and the fact that there is blood on the edge of the skylight. But before we do that, let me take a sip of water real quick. Stay hydrated, everybody. Stay hydrated. All right, let's do this. Present. Boom.
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom.
What? That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence.
No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible.
Irrefutable proof. Here in this courtroom.
Counsel,
My lord.
I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is the evidence to which you allude? I will point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight.
Okie dokers, do-whoop. Right there.
Got it!
By Jupiter, is that blood?
This blood stain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open.
What?
And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening.
Oh my.
And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime.
Meh.
No!
No.
Order! Order! Order!
Hold it!
Who's that? Oh, that's fair play.
Hold it. But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin that
Far and nowhere else?
And only found its way to that one particular spot in the skylight. Sure, that would be a very convenient.
Yeah, blood does not work like that.
And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be fastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the jet really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the associates, Mr. First?
Yeah, this is new.
'Tis all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows that poor fella dropped from a height right there, so it is.
But what happened to the previous cabin we saw, dude?
What? No.
But it can't be. It's all lies.
Mars! My fellow jury members.
Oh, wait, I don't want it to be sound too much like the joke here.
My fellow jury members. I think we can all agree that this is clearly proof the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
Dude, man, we're fucking ping-ponging back and forth between innocent and guilty so much here. Can we not wait for a decision to find who's guilty first, please?
So they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? Atomic Flourish, the shit is getting great.
I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, I knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing.
Yeah, sure, man. Sure you knew. Haven't been friggin' ping-ponging back and forth on this shit.
On three, then, everyone. 1, 2,
Wait. But this lady's gonna go back to being guilty? Did she forget she was already on the innocent?
3.
Objection!
Oh, thank God, dude. Yeah, let us get to the heart of this matter.
A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zykes?
A blood stain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void.
What? Why?
Because this shit's been tampered with.
For one extremely simple reason.
Yeah, they do. They just keep changing as needed. But I'm saying, like, the jury is very indecisive. They're just like, I knew it all along. No, y'alls didn't. No, y'alls didn't. They're easily swayed. Ooh, the music change. Now you meant the omnibus keeps changing as needed? Well, somehow it's been changed. Somebody tampered with it, or it's been shifted in some way. I don't know. All right, Van Zykes.
The smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
Okay, like how's it there?
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began.
But, yeah, dude, there's a lot of things that is not adding up here.
Are you suggesting, Lord Van Zykes, that this stain of blood was... fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session...
What?
Oh my, dude. Hold on, I don't know this word. Palaver. Meaning. Unnecessarily elaborate or complex procedure. Talk unproductively and at length. Okay.
What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zykes. But I'm Magnus McGillard, a fellow lord all over. a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. McGillet, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I'm well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature.
Is that why he's particularly involved in this case? Why he came back after 5 years? Because he's wants to get the mastermind behind it all?
You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts.
Adapt the facts. What does that even mean?
When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilden's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with the evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir.
Tut, Lord Van Sykes, this will not do to be sure. Will it now, Counsel? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man.
No, it doesn't, because something's happened.
The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if he was, well, I'll cast your man's back. Is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world in his way of seeing?
The smoke screen, dude?
Isn't that right now, Counsel? It's true.
The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that the court has been in session. Lies! The smoke screen.
My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter in your own words.
Nod.
As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think
it could have been possible.
As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. Yeah, man. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests.
That's right, I'm putting it back on you. My learned friend being Van Sykes. He calls us a learned friend. He's our learned friend now, too.
However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility.
Oh.
Good gracious. Explain yourself, Counsel.
I mean, Lord Van Sykes knows it. I know. Why isn't he saying it?
Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of... So, hold on, sorry, click forward there. Of running from this deceit.
Deceit?
I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade.
You remember bang and then all the smoke everywhere and shit?
What's going on?
Be careful, Mr. Anahodu. Cover your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. Pass. I hereby call on an emergency. Recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
The courtroom was filled with smoke and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos,
Wow, what a turn there.
it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus.
But in which case, where did the blood come from? And also, like, where did they put all the shit that was in the thing?
Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, ye? You rotten, feckless gouger. Feckless gouger? You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me suities.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus.
Inconsistencies such as...
To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning.
Unfortunately, Lord Van Zyx, no one is able to corroborate your claim.
We are.
That's true.
And all the police officers are.
When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut.
Yeah, but I looked in the storage compartment. I didn't look in the skylight because when I clicked on it, it wouldn't let me open it anyway, so.
Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not.
Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. I did, I just wasn't allowed to.
What do you think?
Sorry?
About the omnibus? Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus?
Yes, the freaking bloodstain, dude. Was it mentioned that the bloodstain wasn't there before?
My lord.
Yes, counsel?
There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial.
What?
What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare betray me, a little maggot, you'd better start watching your back.
Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification.
Grr. This trial keeps swinging one way and the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here?
Just keep following the evidence. Keep following the truth.
I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Where exactly is the alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial?
This shit, man.
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom.
Good Lord.
Yes, I do believe you're correct, Counsel.
Well said. Although, as an advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue.
I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. Hey. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded? I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but 'tis all over now. But you're the defendant.
Wow, he's fucking pissed.
'Tis over, I tell ye. 'Tis over. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, 'tis all nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is, the blood stain is there now. Well, and over the course of this desperate trial, a long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper at the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zykes. Well, my lord.
I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence.
And yet these testimonies are standing as evidence. At this moment in time, we could ask everybody at the cop thing, and they're all lying, all of them?
At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence.
Where did he get the blood from to make the bloodstain?
In the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it will be improper for this trial to continue.
Your lordship can't be serious.
Lord Van Zykes, what is your position?
The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present.
Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my education.
No, something isn't right. Something isn't right.
As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first.
What formality?
As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty.
Yes.
Which would mean we've won.
Is that really the right outcome here?
Man, we're just here to help get to the truth.
Is it really all right for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies?
Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please.
Yes, my lord. The defense believes
This is coming down to this? Closing statement, banana. Oh, man. I mean, he could be guilty, but what if we just say he's innocent? Like, could he be innocent and someone else is guilty? I mean, in all the previous games, and even at the top of this one, Kazma did mention its inherent belief that the person you're defending is innocent. The defendant is innocent? As Mr. McGilded's legal representative. I can't breathe. The air in here is stifling. But I'm this man's defense lawyer. There's only one thing I can say in this situation. I believe the defendant, Magnus McGilded, innocent of the allegations brought against him.
Thank you, counsel.
I'll say first, and it's fine.
Here's to you, my Nepalese friend, in the most abject closing I've yet to hear in a court of law.
Hold on. I'll remind myself, abject of something bad experienced or present to the maximum degree. Of a person in their behavior completely without pride or dignity. Okay, self-abasing. Just because we believe he's innocent doesn't mean that we've arrived at the truth.
Order! Order!
Oh, 'twas a grand design to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand design. You saved one of London's most influential gentlemen, fella. You would be proud of yourself. Here, have this for your troubles. Ah. Your job here is done, fella, and some fine work you done, so you have. What do you mean? 'Tis just the right honourable gentleman so succinctly put afore. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did ye put it? Put it down, nothing more than a formality.
I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence that we've seen genuine, or was it fake?
His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of properly, as I said.
This thinking Richard always guilty of something, yeah. Mark my words.
I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park.
Now the proceedings have unfolded in this way. I'm compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea.
So even if we said he could be guilty, it would still, I think, have ended up here. I just figured, I've never been in this situation where we're defending a potentially guilty man. In terms of at least the first games, it's always we're on the defending the innocent party. So I was like, okay, the guy's innocent. Is this where we're eventually going to get him for what he did, or what?
I take you kindly, my lord.
I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
I wonder.
Objection!
Oh, wait, hold on. I tried to press escape, but it wouldn't let me. What if we go to options? Can I load? What if we go to the autosave? Where will it put us at the autosave? Oh, it puts us right back in this choice. Perfect. Let's see what it would have done if we said this. The defendant could be guilty. I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, at this moment in time, I cannot on good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence.
What are you saying, man?
Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent.
Good gracious me. Order! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer. Calling the accused innocence into question, are you of sound mind?
Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand decision. What? I must say I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles.
Ah, okay, so then this becomes the same. This is where it would converge.
Your job here is done now, felon. Some fine work you've done, so you have.
What do you mean?
'Tis just as the right honourable gentleman so succinctly put it afore. The trial cannot go on any more. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality?
I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence we seen genuine, or was it fake?
His lordship would be fuming, and unsightly rubbish should be disposed of properly, as I said.
The stinking rich are always guilty of something, you mark my words. Okay.
I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted the lovely man who gave us the lovely park.
Yeah, okay, so there's the differences there between it. There we go. Now we seem there we go. Because I kind of wanted to say this, but I'm just like, but aren't we supposed to believe in our client? Like, that was reiterated again at the top of the game. Kazuma said that, so. But all right. We'll go with this. Feel a little bit better about ourselves.
Now that the proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea.
I thank you kindly, my lord.
Oh, there's music now. Yeah, we're following the facts. But I mean, also, like, in all the previous games, it was reiterated over and over again. And at the top of this game, too, it's, like, also, like, the solid belief that who you're defending is innocent. So, I was like, is this a theme we're going with? I guess not. This guy does seem like an asshole, so.
I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
We're objecting.
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies.
We have no idea about the truth.
Lord Van Zykes.
My lord.
The case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place.
There was a smokescreen, dude, and he did yell immediately to secure the omnibus, so... The poor dude. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But, wait. When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zykes ordered the evidence to be secured.
I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter.
That's so unfair.
The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
A what?
Well, Lord Van Zykes, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
Do you mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time?
'Tis the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law.
This is supposed to be like we're changing the law for the future, so shit like this can't get finished with. Is that why, you know, Kazuma wanted to change the way the law works in Japan and stuff like that? Also, hey, Bismaker, hello, welcome. Guess we checked blood pressure and saw 200/116. Guess something went wrong. What? Actually, I don't know how to read blood pressure. I don't think it's been a while since I've ever taken my blood pressure, so I don't know. Is that bad? Did you double check it? That's pretty bad, oh no. Yeah, man, I don't know what can increase your blood pressure, but yeah. Make sure to take care of yourself, friend. Magnus McGilded.
Good grief, you have more to say to me, have ye?
Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over.
Well, something to look forward to then.
I hereby pronounce the defendant Mr. Magnig McGilded
Not guilty. Is this why the High Justice said that it was an easy thing? Get these fireworks out of here, this is bullshit. Is this why he said it was practically a sure thing? And yet the scales of justice tip towards guilty. I can't believe this is outrageous. They should have been having the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. The courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day. The judge delivered his verdict. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. And yet do we feel that so victorious? '18th February, 5:14 p.m., the Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
That certainly was a long trial.
Yes, it was.
Your first ever trial on foreign soil, and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance.
But was it a victory, dude?
My heartfelt congratulations.
And to you, Miss Cesato, thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy.
Truth was not found here.
The truth lies murdered on the floor.
And the trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened.
Well, we didn't have enough time.
But isn't it wrong? I mean, who's actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that.
The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant.
Bullshit. We also gotta find the truth.
You carried out your duty to perfection.
Aye, that you did.
I assume.
Mr. McGilded. And that girl is with him too. Well, it seems the stories are true.
Oh, what stories?
About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off and the verdict is not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say?
The fireworks?
Yes, definitely.
You think she got paid to launch the smoke bomb? Maybe.
I heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was.
Like she was waiting for the signal and that was the signal? That's why she was in the courtroom. That's why she risked it. Because it was a risk for her to be in the courtroom to begin with. I thought maybe she was just curious, but maybe that's what it was. And then, like, why was she in the carriage in the first place? Because she's also getting paid by the guy?
And I have you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. I think early in the beginning, he turned it back from being a near shut open shut case.
What on earth are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of there a free man, then?
I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning.
You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, I had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and strong. Ah, 'tis water under the bridge.
Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared.
But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me.
Oh?
They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and abstinent deed. 'Tis grand, is it not?
I suppose it is.
Now the fine fellas of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth.
Will they now? With your meddling? With your bribery?
I've absolute faith in them, so I have after all. I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay.
It's not that funny.
So then, has we agreed aforehand 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella?
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Yeah, I don't want your fucking blood money. Get out of here. Yeah, it could be that when Van Zykes ordered somebody to secure the omnibus, they were also being paid. Because that's what Van Zykes said, that oftentimes he gets away with his shit because he bribes people, he pays off people, etc., etc.
All right, boys. You're all humble people, are you, from the east? Well, if you insist. But have they still in all you deserve a reward?
Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything. Hold on. Governor, everything is ready, sir, if you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom. Are we going still?
Oh, what's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes in the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection.
Sorry, what inspection?
They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. Ooh, I want to be there. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
Can I also be present?
They're going to examine it again. Now.
Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can.
Want to ensure that your treachery isn't upheaved?
This is a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure to meet yous.
No, wait, I'm going with you.
I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain.
No, wait, take us with you. No, wait, we're going too.
And there he goes, a free man.
Oh, I forgot she was here too. Dude, why are you startled? How long does it take you to load this?
Don't move.
Whereas I want to say get a move on. It does take forever to load that thing.
Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up.
Sorry?
And I ain't all grown-ups.
Okay, but Susato's not a grown-up. Susato, you're the same age, right? Ish? Hold on. $16. 17. There you go. Susato's even younger than you. Susato, talk to her. There you are. Who is this? Who the fuck? What is this theme? Okay, the little goggles have a heart between them. Is this the same? It's the same flower symbol that was on all the other stuff. Is this last involved in that? Jesus, okay. How to voice you, small child.
Naughty, running off like that?
Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now?
And taking that with you as well? I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Uh-huh.
We're sorry.
Uh-huh.
That the new, it's got a heart thing as well, too.
Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. I have the superior firearms.
That bazooka, yeah, apparently for smoke or something.
Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh my god, is it time for Herlock Sholmes to get on the case?
Oh, good day to you. I am, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
The inventor? Okay, kid genius kind of vibes.
Well, normally smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though?
At all? I just took my eyes off of it for a moment whilst I was changing into a different onto a different omnibus, and she pinched it.
Okay, well, she was transferred onto a different omnibus.
Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. What's it what?
I have no idea what this girl is talking about.
Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. What for? To apologize, of course, silly. To my technician. What, you mean say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? For I won't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Oh, good. You see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure that what she wants is to not get shot by that massive gun of yours.
Well, I'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss.
Or, I'm gonna have to listen.
I'm so sorry for all the fuss.
Something like that.
She was a lively one.
Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now, too?
No, I want to look at I want to see the other examination of the omnibus.
Yes, you're right, but... Where to? Oh...
We haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff.
I was originally planning to spend a day in search of lodgings.
But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night.
Bunker out in the park? Please tell me you're not thinking of the Gilded Park.
I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through.
I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable.
Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilda down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over. Damn straight, damn right it isn't. Uh-oh, what the fuck is happening?
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water!
Oh my god, the omnibus has been lit on fire?
How did this happen? I don't know, sir. By the
This is the
time
lead
I got
inspector?
here, it was already engulfed. No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Wait, hello? Somebody's in the fire?
No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
The judge? No, wait, hold on.
This can't be.
No, hey, yo, Van Zyx, what's happening? Well, who was in the omnibus? Well, shit be right fucked. And? Question mark? Truly? Alright, we got an achievement for the completion of episode 3. Save your current progress? Yes. All right, yeah, the bus is on fire, man. The bus is on fire. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, I think that's probably a good place to end it. That's probably a good place to end it. We did accidentally crash earlier, so this VOD is going to be split in two. This VOD is going to be split in two, but I think we were like almost an hour in to before we had the crash or whatever have you. So we're technically probably like 30 minutes ish short of the time that we usually go for this. But I don't really want to start on no, because we're technically it's 2 hours and 30 minutes on this. We had a crash earlier, so we were about 53 minutes into that one. So add 53 minutes onto this time. So we're probably like 40 minutes, ending 40 minutes or so early. So yeah, it was kind of a weird thing. Like I tabbed out to pull up the VOD to confirm something, whether or not the bloodstain, whether or not the bus, whether or not the bus number was, the omnibus number was the same as we investigated before. And then when I tabbed back into the game, it just froze. and then my computer crashed. So it was weird. But yeah, so the VOD is unfortunately going to be split in two, but I don't want to start onto the second case now. Or the fourth case. I don't want to start into the fourth case yet. So, it's ended a bit early, but there'll be times when we'll run a bit later as well. So I think now will be a good time. Some games do not like alt tabbing. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, like, there's a difference between like the game freezing and like my computer crashing. So, and it's not the first time that I have alt tabbed, because I was alt tabbed multiple times to look up words and stuff like that. So, weird. Weird. But yeah, I think this is where we'll end it, is a clean end, a clean break, and we'll start in on the fourth case next time, which apparently is going to be the adventure of the clouded Kokoro, which Kokoro means heart in Japanese. So the adventure of the clouded heart, apparently. And we'll see where this is exactly going. But yeah, I don't want to start in on anything. I don't want to start anything on anything new. And also, because I will be taking a little bit of a week break from streaming or whatever have you. Next week, I will not be streaming this Variety Daytime. So we will resume this on the 6th of January. Is when we will be continuing this and starting in on the first part, the first half of the fourth case. So, oh hey, so Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah, I will be streaming one more day. So this evening, Tuesday evening during my usual raid time. Our raid group isn't going to be, not everybody can make it for Christmas Eve, obviously. So we're not going to be running the usual raid clears, but I am going to be streaming during that time. We're going to be doing the new Chaotic Alliance raid. So we're doing day 1 Chaotic Alliance raid. We're going to go in there blind and we're going to try our best. Yeah, Chaotic Alliance raid just came out 2 minutes ago. Oh, was it 2 minutes ago? All right. Well, people are probably already going to be in it right off the bat, but yeah, I'm going to be going in later this evening with whoever else can make it, and then that will be my last stream before I take a little bit of a break. I won't be streaming the Wednesday or Thursday Overwatch, or the usual Friday stream, but I will be streaming one day on the weekend. One day during my break, I'll be streaming my raid, the raid on the weekend. I'll be streaming that, and then I won't be streaming the variety game. Or the Tuesday raid at on New Year's Eve. And then I probably will take an additional day where I won't be streaming New Year's Day, because New Year's Eve into New Year's Day turnaround would be kind of short. So I won't be streaming Wednesday, but Thursday Overwatch is when I'll be back, and the schedule will continue forward as per usual. So that's when we'll be doing that. Yeah, it's still day 1. Yeah, today is technically Tuesday morning. It has launched right now. Yeah, exactly. It's right now. It's 5 a.m. my time, Tuesday morning, and I'll be streaming it later this evening. So Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. my time. Yeah, time zones. Yeah, time zones. Technically day one for me, though. Day one for me. But yeah, time zones are finicky bastards. I know every time we talk with anybody on Australia, I always have to be like, oh yeah, it's one day ahead for them. It's always one day ahead for them. So I'm just like, yeah, Tuesday. And they're just like, you mean my Wednesday? And it's just like, oh, okay. Excited to see you do it. Yeah, I have no idea what we're going to be getting into. So like what kind of difficulty range is going to be. I assume probably like an extreme, like an kind of an extreme fight level, but we'll have to see because we're doing it with an entire alliance. This fight. So, oh boy. You and your FC are also doing it this evening. All right, Godspeed. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. Because I imagine with that many people, it's only going to be kind of crazy. And depending on what difficulty, man, who knows? Who knows? But I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so that will be the next stream. The Christmas Eve Chaotic Alliance raid. All we want for Christmas is chaos, apparently. And then yeah, I won't be continuing this next week, but the week after on technically the night of the 6th or like the 7th. Technically it would be the 7th because it'd be Tuesday morning. Anyway, time zones or whatever. It'll all be up on the schedule tab. That's when I will be resuming this. We will be jumping into the first half of episode 4, the fourth case, The Adventures of the Clouded Kokoro. So this was a bit of an unfortunate ending to this last case. We didn't get to the heart of the truth. And a guilty party could have gotten away. Definitely has gotten away. Whoever the guilty party may be, whether that is Magnus McGilded or not. And plus on top of that, somebody has burned the omnibus. Somebody has burned the omnibuses on top of everything. So there is evil machinations afoot. There is evil machinations afoot, so yeah, we'll have to see where the story is going, but eventually, as the saying goes, there are 3 things that cannot be concealed for long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So we'll find out what happened eventually. Yeah, evil is afoot. Hope to see you out there, Helldiver. Is that what the I haven't played the Helldivers game before. But yeah, best of luck to you. Best of luck. Godspeed. All right. B. Boop. Boop. That is going to be it for me. Like I said, ending a bit early here. And like I said, also, unfortunately, this VOD has been cut into 2. So this VOD has been cut into 2. So there's going to be the first little like hour or so is in a separate VOD because we had that crash. And then this is the latter half. This is the latter half. But yeah, I hope everybody has a good rest of their day, night, whatever time zone. Be safe out there and take care of yourselves. Thanks to everybody that popped by to say hi and to hang out. Y'all are awesome. Yeah, take care. Have a good one. Sleep well, gamer. You too, Izu. Have a good one. Gotta be ready for chaotic. Yes, we have to be. Have to be awake. Have to be awake, bright-eyed, and bushy-tailed because we're gonna need to be fully aware because that is 100% gonna be freaking crazy. It's gonna be crazy whatever happens.